cookie after all that happened. After the free throws, after the status, after the maintain statements, after the council. Hey, y'all, niggas, ain't it a blessing? We made it out of legacy after all that happened. After Michigan State, after holding our men told others to bend, they push from us all 20 rows. With the money long as 6 hours. Pick her up, like a touchdown, pull her tracks up. Yes, I slack girl, yes, I slack dog, yes, I slack mom. Yes, I slack a pussy nigga if he acts out. Yes, I fuck up on the raw with them killers, bro. Kill me if I snitch. If you snitch, I'm gon' kill you.
Not much, to be honest. I mean, it was what, January was our last game. Both teams finished extremely well down the stretch. We were always looking at whatever standings you did watch down the last like 4 weeks of the season. We were always looking at what Minnesota did, with Memphis and other teams, like trying to figure out who's going to be in that 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 range. But other than that, they're playing well. They have a little bit more of a consistency than we do, probably. Just, I know Dante missed a little bit of time, but most of their guys have been available, but they're just playing way better, and they seem like they're more connected. So you just gotta understand what their patterns have been, just watching them and try to adjust on the fly when you get out there on the floor.
Did you take note of?
Is the thumb improving, or is it one of those things where you're going to need the off-season for it to get better?
It is in a great place right now to keep playing. I don't know what's going to happen down the road.
Does it only hurt if it gets hit, or is that how it kind of reacts?
Yeah, and it's almost impossible for it not to. But I'm good.
Great, thank you.
Get up, bro. Don't even go in. I ain't want you going. Start over.
Draymond have a history? Like, how do you approach just the individual matchup with him?
To me, it's a team matchup. I'm really focused on, try to help my team win, try to be the best really I can be, and play basketball. Obviously, he's Draymond. He's also an all-time great defender. He's gonna be very physical. He's gonna be himself, right? And for me, it's really about being myself. And also be physical and doing all the things I need to do to help my team win.
How challenging is that, though? I mean, he's presumably going to try to bait you at different times.
I enjoy it. Competitive, aspect of the game and the physicality and all these things. So I'm excited. I'm excited to, he's a fierce competitor, and so am I.
Mike's last runs at a championship?
For sure. I mean, it's. I think when you've been in this league for many years, obviously I don't like whether it's year 12, year 16 for Mike, 17.
17.
I think we all realize that you don't get every year. You don't get an opportunity to win a championship, right? And when you have that opportunity, you really seize. You have a different approach to every day and every game, and you really seize that moment differently. You know, and when I look at Mike every day, I'm like, this might be, who knows? It might be his last year playing like that, or next year might be his last year. You never know, but you know, those opportunities don't come often, and we work really hard to put ourselves in that position, and we definitely want to take advantage of it.
Talk about the craft of shooting with him.
I mean, I talk about it a lot. Not just the craft of shooting, but his mindset, his approach every single day. And that's something that, you know, I took that more so than any of the little tips and everything shooting-wise, because what he does shooting-wise, you can't emulate. So just taking the mindset, taking his approach, and applying it to my skill set, working on my skill set. So absolutely, that's kind of like, you know, not just myself, but collectively. It's, you don't know how much time Mike has left in his basketball career, so like, you want to take, you know, grab every opportunity you can and take advantage of it, because you know we all want to win for him, and I think that's a collective thought process, and it brings a little bit more edge to our game, it brings a little bit more meaning to our game. Everybody knows that is just a, you know, an ultra competitor, and we have them too. So it's nothing that, you know, we're saying he's going to do coming in the game. We want him to compete. We want to compete, and we want to get after it. So there's no intervening. There's nothing. These guys know exactly what, you know, is at stake and what we're getting into, and everybody's ready. Developed a lot over there. We gave you something special during that year, so it's going to be fun to compete against them for sure.
Game to deal with the Draymond factor.
Everybody knows that is just a, you know, an ultra competitor, and we have them too. So it's nothing that, you know, we're saying he's going to do coming in the game. We want him to compete. We want to compete, and we want to get after it. So there's no intervening. There's nothing. These guys know exactly what, you know, is at stake and what we're getting into, and everybody's ready.
You obviously made change in Julius since the start of the playoffs.
Julius has been amazing. All-NBA guy. He's a huge reason why we won that series. And the beautiful thing about him, he doesn't need, you know, the, you know, the praise. He hears everything. He hears the criticism. He doesn't need it. He knows that in the locker room we trust him in decision making, and he's playing some beautiful basketball.
How would you sort of brief
everyone through?
Yeah, it takes a lot of discipline. You know, I think we have the guys who, you know, athletically can, you know, match the speed they play, the physicality they play with, but can we sustain it for 24 seconds on the shot clock? Can we sustain, you know, not ball watching and, you know, staying attached to the shooters and understanding personnel, who's in and who's out of the game, because there'll be different coverages for different guys. So it's going to take a lot, you know, a lot of mental preparation for that, and being able to, like I said, be consistent with it throughout the games.
And you have an appreciation for that?
I might not have the best appreciation for the whole Jimmy thing, because I wasn't here. That predated me, but I do, just as far as, you know, I know what it means to the city. I know, you know, just the Golden State itself, you know, just that whole entity of it, just the organization, the success they've had, Draymond, and, you know, the choking people out, the stuff like that. I mean, we've got all that going on. We know it, and you know, and it's exciting. You know, it's exciting. I know there's going to be a lot of buzz. That's what people want to see. That's what we came here for. It's why we want to play this deep in the playoffs. You're going to end up running into teams that you'll draw those matchups.
Like nobody.
What's going to be key for
Yeah,
you guys?
I mean, it's obviously a tough matchup. I mean, it's a championship pedigree team. You know, they've you know, they're similar to us. They played their best basketball down the stretch and into the playoffs. You know, they're coming off of a really tough series, no doubt about it. But they showed what they're made of in that series. You know, they got us 3 times out of 4 this year. So, but we haven't played them with the new look roster. So yeah, a lot of things to contemplate coming in this series. It's going to be definitely a tough one for us.
Can the regular season, just given how different they are, and really you're playing much differently now too?
Yeah, I think there's a lot you can take from it. I think you know, they certainly hurt us in transition. That's going to be a big point of emphasis, I'm sure, for them as it is for us. You know, stylistically, they're still pretty similar. Obviously, centers around Steph and Draymond, and that combination has been a handful for many years, but now they add Jimmy, who gives them just an added dimension, not only feeds into their style of play, but also gives them things that they didn't have before, like foul drawing, ISO, baskets on demand, another closer. I do think there are things you can take from the games in the regular season, though.
What advice do you give to Rudy going into a matchup with Draymond, given that history?
I mean, listen, you got to play basketball. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of physicality, some of it certainly on the edge of legality. So there's going to be a lot of things said on the floor or outside the game itself. We got to focus and play basketball.
And drive that you had at the beginning of last series.
Yeah, I don't worry too much about it with this team. I think this team's been pretty motivated for a while now. I think when you're playing against a team who's won 4 championships or whatever it is they won, they still have the remnants of a really good core plus Butler. They believe they can win it. They believe they're going to be the favorites. I think a lot of that is for the outside people to debate. I'm pretty confident in our ability to maintain our mental edge right now. So.
Having a